Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in the Ambrosia Collective and Iron Addicts Gym in Long Beach, California. Look, yesterday was a fantastic day, a phenomenal day, one of the most amazing days ever because we've been locked down. We've been putting masks on. We'll talk about that. It is time for fuck it, mask off. The industry is opening, the world is opening, and yesterday, Brandon Curry himself, that's right, reigning Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry, while not there, had the grand opening for his new gym in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Carbon Culture USA. I train at the one in Franklin. So yesterday I'm sitting there, I'm talking to the chairman in Tennessee, that is Alan Sizemore. I'm talking to the guys who put on the NPC shows in Tennessee. I'm telling them about how amazing bodybuilding is, about how the shows so far this year, we're talking about they're the best they've ever been. Record attendance at the North Americans, just an amazing showing of people who just want to get out, want to show. Hell, I'm making a comeback this year. I will be doing the Masters USA on December 12th. If LA doesn't open up because they're run by a bunch of Nazis, then they're going to have it somewhere else. I am excited about everything. Even met a couple guys who are competing in the USAs. Same show I'm competing in, but they're much younger and better looking than me. So what I'm looking at is the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. I didn't realize this, and I'm looking in, and this could be the greatest Mr. Olympia contest of all time. But Mark, man, last year, no. Brandon won last year. He won by a long shot last year. If you look at the results, Brandon killed everybody. Well, no one showed up. No, 20 plus people showed up. Brandon was just the best guy on stage. Sean wasn't there, and that's a shame. Phil wasn't there. He was taking a year off to recover. So we were left with a really awesome lineup. But this year's even better. Look, I'm standing there, and I'm enjoying everything. Just got out of the dunk tank, right? I was in a dunk tank. And there, Brandon's wife, shows me the phone. It's Brandon on FaceTime. I'm looking, I'm like, wow, Brandon was just here at my house like a month ago. All right? Dude's prep, I tell you what, if you've seen his prep, his pictures from when he was in the US, dude's put on size, has gotten leaner. Okay? Then I'm looking, I'm seeing Phil Heath. You guys know I'm friends with Phil Heath, right? Like, I'm seeing Phil Heath, and Phil looks amazing. His arms are this big. I think Phil's back. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is fireworks. What's going to happen is the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. And the third thing that I'm really excited about, besides Brandon being bigger than a house with his trademark small waist, his huge arms, and his symmetry, Phil Heath being potentially, well, we'll see what the future holds, the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. You have what I consider the complete unexpected, and that's Flex Lewis coming in. Well, Flex is shorter, this and that. Dude, y'all remember Lee Priest? I believe Lee Priest placed as high as third at the Olympia, if I'm not mistaken. You can be a short guy, and you can win, and you can place damn high. I think there might be some other people coming out of nowhere who can challenge for the top. We forgot about Boniak and the other guys who have given a run for the money to these champions. The top six is going to be stacked, and I'm going to be there. And I have a huge announcement to make there, but that's besides the point. I've done videos about this before. I have been the biggest critic of bodybuilding. I've discussed this with the guys from Tennessee. I've discussed this with the wonderful people from Muscle Contest in California. I've never been so excited to be a part of the bodybuilding industry. I've never been so excited to be a part of what this has become. We saw 3 eras in bodybuilding. I'm going to tell you about the first 2. The first era of greatness was the pumping iron era with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mike Katz, Lou Ferrigno. Then you saw kind of the area in between. Then you saw the 90s and the early 2000s. Ronnie Coleman, Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, Gunther Schleierkamp. what I consider and Dorian was in there too, what I consider, well, up until now, the greatest days of bodybuilding. So great to the point that they think they're better than anything that comes today. But now, you have the new era where you have these guys who were in their 20s during that era, who are in their 30s now, have the muscle maturity, and honestly are bigger, better, and leaner than that group. This is the new era of bodybuilding, the COVID era of bodybuilding, as will be now the post-COVID era. People are so hungry to see sports, to see competition, to see greatness. This will go down as the greatest Olympia in the history of the sport. You might scoff at me now. You might be like, Marc's lost his mind. No, I've actually been watching this. And if you are not planning on going to the Mr. Olympia, you better pay for that live stream, because it's going to be one for the ages. You're going to see a battle like no other. You're going to see Brandon, who was the COVID Mr. Olympia. Now, if you guys don't know this, and I don't want to give away too much information on how people earn money. A lot of money, yeah, they get the 400 G's for winning the Olympia now, but most of the money's made from guest appearances, right? So you go, you win the Olympia, and then you go and you do these appearances, and that's where you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing these appearances, whether it's overseas. Brandon only had till March. It's not enough time. He missed most of the year of his earning potential. So Brandon, also because of Sean not being in the Olympia, because of Phil not being there, a lot of people say there should be an asterisk by his name. I say that's complete and utter BS. Brandon won that show, and I think Brandon left a lot on the table. Brandon got ready for the Arnold that year. Brandon could have been 5% sharper. I've told him this, and he knows it. Like when people say I have small arms, you guys don't think we own mirrors and pictures? Brandon still won by a landslide, all right? But there's a lot you can see out of Brandon. He's had a full year of prep. In fact, why wasn't Brandon in Murfreesboro at his own gym's grand opening yesterday? Because he was in Kuwait, focused, dialed in. When I called him, he was eating. All he's doing is eating, training, sleeping. That's it. He's getting ready. Phil Heath is Phil Heath. I think, honestly, Phil Heath could probably go to Baskin-Robbins every day and enjoy all 32 flavors and still come in great shape. But I think whoever wins, they're going to be pushed to the brink. This will be closer than the Phil versus Kai. This is going to be a really close show. And I think Flex might surprise everybody and win the whole thing. It's a possibility. I don't think it's a probability, but I think it's a possibility. And why am I only talking about 3 guys? Because I think that's the top 3. I do. And the good news is I love all of them. They're all great guys. So what do I think is going to happen? I don't have a crystal ball, but I've already gone over my forecast, and it's changed a little because I think Phil looks fantastic. I think he does. I need to see his waist. And Phil's smart. He's not going to show anybody till he takes off his clothes the day of the show, which sounds really weird. And really, 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 you know the word I'm thinking. But no, I don't see him in that light. I consider him a friend, not a friend with perks. I think my prediction is we see Phil at his all-time best. I think Phil's going to bring it like we haven't seen him bring it. And I think Phil, as a former D1 athlete, has the competitive drive to really, really, really make a comeback of the ages. Brandon, a man driven by faith, family, and a work ethic like very few I've met. Brandon will come in the best Brandon Curry, who, by the way, just 4 years ago placed dead last at the Olympia. The man has more trajectory for greatness than anybody, even in his 30s. Flex Lewis will have a great showing as he always does. He will be the most conditioned man on stage by at least 10%. I see the following. Here's my prediction for the Olympia. Number 1. No, that's not right. That's not how you do it. I predict who will come in 3rd will be Flex Lewis. And I think a lot of people will be mad, especially those of you over the pond with funny accents will be really mad. but I think Flex will just be overshadowed by the taller, albeit not much taller, other Mr. Olympias. I think that's what's going to happen. Is it fair? Is it unfair? I don't know. But I do think that Flex will get third. Second place. I think these two will battle. I think the decision will be within 2 points. I think it'll be the closest Mr. Olympia of all time. I think both competitors did not take the other one lightly. I think both competitors will come in shredded, hard, full, and they both have great coaches. I believe Phil's still with Hani. And of course, you got Abdallah over there in Kuwait, who is hosting Brandon literally in a different country. I predict Brandon Curry will win the 2020 Mr. Olympia. I also predict whoever wins, whether it be Phil or Brandon, it will be just like when Phil beat Kai. One side will be pissed, one side will be happy. It will be a Trump versus Biden type show. You either love one or you don't love one. Now, I would say love or hate, and Phil is West Coast. Phil is a very polarizing character. Brandon's a good old Southern boy, man. Brandon has, everybody loves Brandon. So it's going to be a unique situation where I don't think either of them are going to blow it. Now, a lot can happen in the next 12 weeks. However, that's my top three. But it's going to be the greatest Olympia of all time. What's your top three? I want to know. Comment down below. But again, 2020 is the year that bodybuilding makes a comeback. Bodybuilding was never not great. The people running it just didn't know what they were doing. And you had some fringe individuals who just didn't do their job running their regions. Now, it's back. Bodybuilding is more objective and more fair than ever. I encourage you, if you have the itch to compete, well, this might be the year to make your comeback, okay? And we all have goals to set. So it doesn't matter if you're a pro level, amateur level. Nothing helps you get in shape better than knowing there's a deadline. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Comment down below. Follow me Instagram at Marc Lobliner, Twitter at Marc Lobliner, Facebook at Marc Lobliner. Of course, subscribe to this channel and like this video. Tell all your friends about it. And that's not a game.